Hi, I'm Lori Diaz, and I'm a funeral diva. From the first fallen leaf of autumn, that is usually when the holiday season starts. And so for some families, it's the excitement of the holidays coming up, and it's the food that they smell, it's the baked goods. Everyone is excited about the holidays. But for those who have lost a loved one or who are ill or who are dealing with grief, the holidays bring about a whole different emotion. It brings about sadness, it brings about pain, frustration, and for some it brings about depression. I remember when my father passed away. He passed away in August, and so the first holiday just seemed kind of awkward for him not to be there and for us to carry on those same family traditions without him there. So I can identify with a lot of families when it comes to the holiday season, because for some, holidays in their household is when it might be the only time that the family gets together. Last year at the funeral home where I work, Gary Memorial Chapel, we decided that we wanted to do something for our families during the holiday time. We recognized that the holidays were hard for those who are grieving, who have recently lost a loved one. And so we wanted to have one big collective service where we had all of our families come back, and we have one united memorial service where we have an opportunity to kind of get together. And the common thread throughout the room is, how do we get through the holiday season? I just want to give you a couple quick tips of how we started the program. One of the things that we did was contact the local hospice agency for them to donate various items that would help the grieving family, such as brochures. The local hospice agency that we work with actually has a support group, so they sent out flyers so that families could get the information of when the next grief session would occur. So we started a database that had all of the addresses of the families that we served in the last 2 years, so that we were able to quickly print out labels and send out invitations. We did personalized invitations. We also went through calling all of our families after we sent the invitation out to kind of ask them, did they receive their invitation? Were they coming to the Holiday Hope program? And a lot of families were happy to hear from us and wanted to tell us that they were happy, that they didn't feel alone, and that they felt like someone cared. And that is what we want to do as the funeral professionals, let others know that we care. What you're about to see are some clips from our 2010 Holiday Hope program. I hope that maybe other funeral homes might embrace this idea and start having it for their loved ones that they've served. We really found that it has been a welcomed, refreshing time during the holiday season. So check them out. Name, Michaela's going to pour a little sand in here. We're going to keep this out on our counter just to remind us of all the loved ones that have passed away. We're going to kind of make it, we're going to try to make it into a little design. I'm not sure how that's going to work out though. Her first name, Blair. Demetrius Batts. David Batts. Sylvester Brinkley.
What the Bible is speaking of here. The Bible is speaking of when you're down, when you're out, when you feel like you have lost something, when you feel like there is no way out, when you feel like there is no way in, when you feel like your problems are too high that you can't climb over them, when you feel like you're too low that you can't get under, when you feel like you have nothing left to hold on to, the Bible is saying that you have the right under the authority of Jesus Christ to not only encourage yourself, but to build up yourselves. But notice how it qualifies itself.
We're going to ask that everybody just stand. We want to hold hands. Reach across the aisle because everyone in here is affected by it.
in some form or fashion. And so tonight we have all bonded, we've made friends. There's widows in the room, there's people who've lost their mothers, their father, their uncles, cousins, grandfather, grandmother, granddaughter, cousin. Everyone is represented in this room. And I thank you for taking the time out and missing the Buckeye game to come and share.
In my next upcoming blog, I'm going to show you some video from our 2011 Holiday Hope and Memories program. There's an organization started by our Funeral Divas founder called Helping Hurting Hearts. And what they have is they have a bereavement prayer line. And so I want to give you the phone number for that bereavement prayer line, because on November 19th at 7 a.m., they're going to start the bereavement prayer line. And it's open for those to call who need a word of prayer. So starting November 19th at 7 a.m., you may dial the number below and enter the access code and be connected with prayer warriors who are going to be there to pray for you during this holiday season. I'm Lori Diaz, and I'm a proud funeral diva.